This is TWiT.
This is a terrible story to start off with. Virgin Galactic SpaceShipTwo suffered what's being called a serious anomaly and crashed over the Mojave Desert during a test flight today. 2 pilots were on board the plane during the crash, and the California Highway Patrol is reporting 1 fatality. Virgin Galactic founder Richard Branson was said to be en route to Mojave following the accident today, and the FAA said in a statement that it is also investigating. This was the 55th flight for SpaceShipTwo and the 35th time that the vehicle flew detached from the airplane that makes it airborne. Virgin Galactic's first commercial space flights were tentatively scheduled for sometime in 2015. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the Federal Communications Commission is close to proposing a hybrid approach to network neutrality. This means the internet service providers would be partially reclassified as common carriers, which would allow the commission to take more measures against internet fast lanes. The proposal would not completely outlaw deals where web services would pay for faster access to consumers, though. The plan would potentially separate broadband into 2 services: a retail service where customers pay broadband providers for internet access, and then a back-end service where broadband providers allow websites to distribute content. The FCC would then classify the back-end service as a common carrier, giving the agency the ability to police deals between content companies and broadband providers. A U.S. Circuit Court judge, Stephen C. Frucci, has ruled that a criminal defendant can be forced to give up his or her fingerprint, but not his or her passcode if police want to open and search his or her cell phone. This ruling is based on the case of David Baust, who was an emergency medical services captain that was charged back in February with trying to strangle his girlfriend. Prosecutors argued that video equipment that was found in the couple's bedroom might have recorded the incident, and perhaps the video could also be on Faust's cell phone. But his attorney argued that passcodes are protected under the 5th Amendment, which prohibits forced self-incrimination. Judge Frucci ruled that giving police a fingerprint is not unlike providing a DNA sample or a handwriting sample or even an actual key, which the law does permit. A passcode, though, requires the defendant to divulge knowledge which the law protects against, according to Frucci's written opinion. Good news for Android users that want to search apps without actually searching apps. Google is now letting developers use its built-in voice search tool inside third-party apps themselves. So currently the prompt, "Okay, Google," searches only reveal certain photos or data inside the phone's stock applications, or Google web searches or Gmail messages. With the new tools, Android users could search for things like food or for hotels inside a restaurant app or a travel app that they've installed on their phone, but without actually launching the app itself. The feature requires Android 4.1 or later and the Google Search app version 3.5 or later. Third-party apps must also be set to the English language, at least for now. Roku got a new addition to their Roku channel store today, Google Play Movies and TV, which is Google's digital media store for buying and renting videos. At the same time, Google is currently promoting its new Nexus player and Android TV, the OS in general, which powers several set-top boxes made by several manufacturers. Now, a feature that is unique to the Roku app itself is that Google will provide info cards related to the content you're watching. So, for example, if you're pressing pause while you're watching a movie, you can then identify the actors within that movie. Google is also offering the first X-Men movie, set, from 2003, for free to those that sign up for the service or download the app on Roku. Yes, I did say the first X-Men movie, which is 13 years old, but, a classic, I guess. Last week, we mentioned that the Hungarian government was considering an internet tax that has sparked mass protests throughout the country. Hungary has since decided to shelve this tax idea on internet data traffic, and the Prime Minister said in a statement today, quote, "This tax in its current form cannot be introduced. The draft law would have imposed a 150 forint, which is equivalent to about 60 cents fee on each gigabyte of internet data transferred."